What's up, guys? Rick from DFS On Demand here with your one and done preview for this week's AT&T Pebble Beach. Also, I'll give an update on current standings because I know a lot of you were with me on Webb Simpson last week, so congratulations. I know a bunch of us captured the 1.3 million. But before we jump into that, someone had sent me a tweet, and they were basically like, "Hey, Rick, you every week on your DFS show, like you give away a draw. There's a draw to give away a week subscription to DFS On Demand. Why don't you do that for the one and done video?" And I was like, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you. So here's what we'll do. Similar to the DFS video, which you can go watch right here, that will actually be the breakdown of all the players, the breakdown of the course. This is centric to a one and done pool. What I'll do is there are two ways to win access to the tool that I'm going to show you. There is a specific one and done tool that I created for this season that I use every week. It has expected value. It changes. You can adjust the time frames. It has how often the golfer was used last year, how often they've already been used this year, the results of all of that. I have that tool. It is $9 a year. It is separate from the DFS On Demand subscription. Although, if you have a DFS On Demand subscription, you get access to this tool, but you can carve it out and just get this tool if you want. It's $9 a year. I will give away two of those, as I do normally every single week. So here you go. Here's how you enter. If you're watching on YouTube, like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you're not subscribed already, what are you doing? Leave a comment below and tell me which golfer you would want to play with this week, because it is a Pro-Am. So you act like you're the Am. Tell me who you would like to play with, which golfer would be most fun. Maybe it's someone who bombs it. Maybe it's someone who can win. Maybe it's someone you think is just going to be a good time. That's one way. The second way, go to wherever you listen to audio podcasts. Leave a 5-star rating and review. Say something nice about the show and leave me your Twitter handle in there so that I can get a hold of you, and that will get you entered into the draw as well. So I'll give away two of these $9 a year subscriptions to the one and done tool on the one and done video. Only seems to make sense. Okay. Thanks, Twitter user. You cost me 18 bucks a week. No, I'm kidding. Should be fun. I think it's the right thing to do. It's pretty cool. And let's jump over to the one and done. All right, so let's start with this. I had Webb in the one and done last week. I know a lot of you did. 346 of us, yeah, baby, got the full 1.3 million. But I will say, a lot of these popular guys here, I mean, no one missed the cut. I think the most expensive golfer, when you're looking at DraftKings salaries, that to miss the cut was Brandt Snedeker. So like the top 9 guys all got through. So it's not like anybody really killed you. You know, Hideki like made the cut on the number, but he played well on the weekend and made a little bit of a charge. But like, you don't want tops, you don't want like T10 or T16 money from any of these guys. Bubba with 245 picks would have been pretty good. Justin Thomas, 110 picks. That would have been pretty good. But the guys who had Tony Finau, the 26 of you still got really good solo second money from Tony Finau. But man, wouldn't it have been really nice to get a winner when there was only 26 of you? I would think so. Standings wise, this puts me, so I think there's like 3,300, 3,500, something like that entries in this. I'm at 298. Thanks to that 1.3 million from Weber. And look at my picks here. So, okay. Sony Open, I had Colin Morikawa, who was either, I'm almost certain he was leading after day 1. He might have been leading after day 2, and then kind of falls back on the weekend, only gets me 64,000. Ricky Fowler was the 36-hole leader the next week at the American Express. He fades to like T10, $162,000. Justin Rose gets me a goose egg at the Farmers Insurance. That's bad. And then Weber gets me the 1.3. But like, so now I've got 1.5 million, but it kind of feels like I have more because like I liked my picks for so long. I liked Morikawa for a while at the Sony. He was playing great. I was stoked about Fowler. Feels like I should have more money than this, but let's see who's in the lead. Leaders are at, wow. Okay. So the leaders actually have the same exact dollar amount. So two guys at the lead, 2 million $977,850. So I'm about half of that total. They had, for the first 3 weeks, the same picks. Or, I'm sorry, the last 3 weeks. Webb Simpson, John Rahm, Abraham, Answer. Wow. And then for the Sony Open, the first week, they had different golfers, Corey Connors and Charles Howell, but they must have tied because they both got $116,000 out of it. So those guys playing good partner golf, as we would like to say. Do we know anybody on? Oh, we do. Eric Patterson in 8th, EPAC Golf. Oh, that was smart. He made his username his Twitter handle. That is probably what I should have done. I could have made it at RickRunGood. It's just RickRunGood. So that you guys could tweet me about how terrible my picks are. Good marketing, Eric. Good to see. I don't know anybody else in the top 25, I don't think. But good to see you up there, EPAT. All right. Let's turn over to this week. All right, let's jump into this. So I think for this week, it's a really weird week because the field is quite honestly very terrible. There is literally everyone in the field has some flaw to them, which is not always the case. Even Dustin Johnson, who's 6.5 to 1 to win this thing, a lot of people are going to look to the not only the fact that he's coming back from Saudi Arabia, but the fact that if you use DJ now, you can't use him later, which I would categorize as a flaw. And then you go down below that and you get a bunch of guys who are like, okay, they don't really move the needle for me. I'm not super excited to play anybody. I don't know if there's essentially, I think there is. I think there's one really natural fit here, but he's going to also have a flaw, which we'll talk about in just a second. But like, all right, here we go. DJ, like, let's look at DJ. I like him. I think 6.5 to 1 or 7 to 1, whatever you're getting him at, is actually pretty reasonable because it's the same price you would have paid on Rahm last week at the Waste Management. It's the same price you would have paid on Rory 2 weeks ago at Farmers, and those were much more difficult fields. I don't want to say more difficult golf courses, but kind of. Just like I think they're harder to win than what DJ would be tasked with winning this week. But the problem is, and you can see, like, DJ generally gets used at the majors, 508 picks last year, at the PGA Championship, 442 at the US Open, 338 at the Masters. Those were the 3 tournaments last year that he was the most chosen. Then came Pebble Beach. Pebble Beach was the 4th most common place for owners to take DJ. He's not been used by anybody this year, obviously. He hasn't played in any of the events that the One and Done has been running for. So literally everyone has him available. So it's a little bit like a flow chart for me. It's kind of like the first decision you have to make is, are you going to play DJ? If the answer is yes, stop the video. You're done, right? No, don't stop the video. You have to keep watching. But you're done. Like that's it. You plug in DJ. He's the favorite. I wish I knew how popular he's going to be. I guess we can look at last year's in terms of popularity, but let me see here real quick. So we'll go to full field values. Last year he was the 3rd highest owned golfer behind Phil and Jason Day, and Jordan Spieth was there. Like I could imagine just Dustin Johnson's ownership being a larger percentage of that this year because Day isn't playing as well, Phil's not playing as well, Spieth isn't playing as well, and those are the 3 other guys around him. So I think DJ could be more popular here, which also scares me. Where I'm at is, as much as I'd love to play DJ this week, I'm probably going to save him for a WGC. That way I can, kind of guarantee I'm going to get 4 rounds out of him. The prize pools are going to be massive. The fields are going to be more difficult, but they'll be smaller fields. And DJ, quite frankly, is just as likely to win any single event that you put him in, right? It doesn't really matter what the field is. And then if I use him in a WGC, I'm not using him at a major, which kind of makes me a little bit different. So that's kind of where I'm at on DJ, as much as I would like to play him this week. But now the problem is, flowchart, if you're not going to play DJ, who are you going to play? The guy that I mentioned as kind of like the most natural fit is Jason Day. who I expect to be fairly popular. So Jason Day's natural fit, I mean, you can see even just from his ownership last year, 765 picks last year at Pebble Beach, by far the highest owned he was. The next closest was 313 at the 3M Open. I don't know why that was. That was a new event. Maybe just everyone was like, oh, he's headlining this new event. He's probably the favorite. He got you $12,000. But like, to me, that's the most natural place to use him. And he at least showed us a little something at the Farmers the last time we saw him. The problem that I have with Jason Day, well, hold on. Before I get to that, I don't have another place I'm dying to play Jason Day. So playing him here where he has a stellar record, I think is fine. But my issue is this right here. It's the ownership. He was 765 picks last year, in the same way that now Phil will probably be less popular. Jordan will probably be less popular. Does Jason Day get even more than that? Like, I just think a lot of people are going to choose him here, which to me feels like bad chalk. Like, it's one thing to be like Hideki in where we were last week, Phoenix. Jeez, oh man. Like Hideki in Phoenix is very natural. He's very popular, but like there's really no knocks against it. The Jason Day stuff is he's popular. He has a great record, but like he hasn't been all that good in the last 12 months. So I don't know if I want to get on that train. Then it kind of leaves you with a couple other options. So if you're not going to play Jason Day, now you continue down the flow chart and you can really punt this thing, and you could use Vic Hovland, who's not really playing all that well, but like you look at his skill set and you say he should be fine here. Or you can even go deeper. Like I've seen, like, I think Max Homa is going to get a little draw this week. I think Graham McDowell is going to get a little draw coming off the win. I actually think Phil will incorrectly get a lot of ownership this week, or more than he should, because he's coming off of literally his first top 10, I believe, since he won this event last year in Saudi Arabia. But I don't think I'm going to play those guys. So it really leaves you with the second tier of golfers, which is like Paul Casey, or actually, and I don't mind Casey, because if you look at Casey, here's the thing with him. There's not a natural fit for him. Like maybe Valspar, like I don't know. But he got used a lot. The most owned he ever was last year was 433 picks at the Charles Schwab Challenge and 389 at the Travelers. So like that's not, like I could play anybody at those two events. Like literally I could play anybody. There's not a natural place for Paul Casey. Playing him here with an 8th and a 2nd in the last 2 years, he's been playing a lot of golf recently, that might draw me in. So I'm kind of between Casey and I'm kind of between Kuchar. So Kuchar's kind of interesting because he just won. He won in, I want to say Singapore, like 2 weeks ago. So the guy just won. He's been good around Pebble in the past. Let me pull that up real quick. Okay, I was actually wrong. Kuchar has like one top 10 here. He's made a bunch of cuts, but and he hasn't played it as much as I thought. So Kuchar doesn't have necessarily a great record here. He's got like one top 10. He's been okay. Bunch of top 25s and stuff, but I don't know. Like, again, I don't know where else I would play Kuchar that I'm super excited to play him. Like, this might be it, 2 weeks removed from a victory somewhere in the world. And, he's not a long hitter, which isn't going to hurt him here. So, like, I think I'm between someone like a Kuchar and a Casey. I like Day, but I don't want to play him if 800 people are going to have him. And then, Phil won't get any of my spot. Actually, I guess Brandt Snedeker is kind of interesting. So he's coming off the missed cut, which might keep his ownership down a little bit. But he's always one of the more popular guys around here. He's generally a pretty good fit. I don't know if I need to go there. So probably Kuchar or Casey for me. Let's see what the winner had last year. So we've got this tool on here. So we've got this tool here that shows us what the eventual winner last year did. So last year, the eventual winner had Brian Gay. He got him $236,000, but he was one of only 3 people that had him. Phil Mickelson, pretty heavily owned, but Jason Day got you 330. But other popular picks like Snedeker, Dustin, and Ches Reavie all got you nothing or basically nothing. So I gotta admit, I'm quite torn. I don't think there is a natural golfer to use this week, which I'm hoping, for my sake, considering I probably won't play DJ, and I almost certainly won't play Jason Day or Phil Mickelson. I'm hoping that a lot of ownership goes to those guys. And as I decide between a Paul Casey, Matt Kuchar, maybe Vic Hovland, probably not, but maybe, hoping that those guys kind of get, maybe they're 200 owners instead of 600 or 700 like we might see from Jason Day. The problem is if I don't play Jason Day, if I don't play him now, I'm probably not going to play him this year. I don't know if I care about that. I really don't know if I care about that. If I could go the whole year without playing Jason Day, I assume. So really weird week. I wish I had better answers for you. I wish I had better options for you, but I'd be lying to you if I thought I did. It's kind of weird and awkward. So let me know what you think. Are you burning DJ this week? Who would you rather go with? Help a brother out. Tweet me. It's at RickRunGood, or leave a comment below. I will talk to you guys soon. Good luck.